Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Music Talks podcast, a show where I talk about everything music from the past and present, and the best place to find music that you are definitely going to like. My name is Noah, and for today's episode, we are going to be covering Olivia Rodrigo's debut album, Sour. This was released back in 2021. It was primarily a pop rock album recorded during 2020 and 2021. It's her debut album. So her first album, this was right after she had done the High School Musical series on Disney+. It's 11 songs, coming in a little over 34 minutes, and it was promoted by 5 singles. So this album to me is great on all commands, and I'll tell everything about my thoughts at the end, but it is my number 2 album of all time. I'm doing my top 3. So the first one was Sweetener, and then number 2 is going to be Sour, and then the next episode will be number 3. Yeah, I think for a debut album, it was a very solid album for a debut. She talks about generally a lot of topics that focus on Gen Z. It's a lot of things that happen to Gen Z people that are in high school, middle school, and even college. It's a very relatable album. She was 17 when she released it at the time. Some themes that cover the album, again, very, very, very young adult-ish. She covers adolescence, failed romance, heartache, insecurities, anger, revenge, envy, and jealousy. So a lot of pretty brutal topics, but for a 17-year-old to be covering that at a young age, that's it's gonna be an honest album. 11 tracks, pretty short album. It gets right down to the point. So if you're ready, I'm ready to do my track breakdown. The first track is Brutal. It is the opening to the album, and it has this slow build to it. You think it's going to be a dreamy, slow song like you hear from Driver's License and even from Deja Vu, but it starts out slow and then transitions into this powerhouse rock anthem. And basically the lyrics relate to her teenage years, and it relates to teenage years about what it's like to be young. She talks about parallel parking, which is something that we all can't do, and I myself did not know how to parallel park. It was not in my required driving test, but for some reason I can. But there has to be 4 empty spots, but I can parallel park. The music video for this is wild. It starts out very dreamy. There's a twirl that happens at the very beginning, and then it cuts to the rock, and right when the rock transition happens, you see her in a ballerina outfit, and it shows her being in a school setting. She's wearing different types of hairstyles. She's wearing a crazy outfit, different kind of outfits. A news reporter. She's a ballerina, and it's just wild. And there's also some really wacky effects in it that happens in there. The song is the shortest track. It is actually the shortest track on the album, coming in just under 2.5 minutes. I like it. This wasn't a song that was very much a shocker to me. It was very, very much surprising. But I like it. I think it really relates to people, and she knows who she's talking to. And to me, I like the song. Track number 2 is Traitor. It's considered one of the many slow ballads on the album. I love the production on it. Her vocals, to me, are very beautiful and clear. There is a music video, but I was dumb and personally didn't watch the music video, so I forgot that there was a music video. But her delivery on this song is so well done. She talks about how she broke up with somebody and then got with somebody really quick. And while they did break up and found someone new, she doesn't want to call him a traitor because he didn't cheat on her or date somebody else while they were dating. But the quickness of the new relationship still feels like you betrayed me. It's one of my personal favorites, if not one of my favorites, top tracks on the album. Really good. Next, we get into track number 3, which is Driver's License. And For a debut lead single, this, you couldn't have gotten any more perfect. I remember when I listened to it, it was number one song at the time, and this was still during the pandemic, which I think the song came out at the beginning of 2021. I think in January, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, on January 8th. So we're just starting into the new decade, or new year, and I love it. I like it. I like the metaphoric message in there. Um, I thought it was a great debut single. I want to debate that it might be one of the greatest debut singles this decade. Again, that might be an unpopular opinion or up for debate. Um, I like the music video as well. It comes with a music video. Yeah, I love it. I liked it a lot. I listened to it to this day. It was one of the songs that I kept on repeat that year. Very, very, very well done track. Track number 4, we have One Step Forward, Three Steps Back. It's very honest when it comes to the lyrics. I have a lot of people that I went to high school with the lyricism related to those people a lot. If this song would have came out in middle school or in high school, I would have said, listen to this song and tell me what you think about it or what it says to you. Simple production. There's not really much to say. It's a pretty good track. I liked it on my initial listen. I don't skip it. But it's still a good song. Track number 5, we have Deja Vu. I have a little bone to pick with this song. It was released as the second single for the album, and something on my initial listen didn't click. I don't know if it was the production, the way the song was produced, but something on my initial listen didn't click, and it might have been the production. It had to grow on me some. I like it now, but at first it was kind of the track I was like, is it, to me, a grower for me. Some people probably got it on their first listen, but for it, this took a little bit for me to get. There is a music video for this song as well, so she really promoted this album in this era very, very well. Next, we have track number 6, which is Good For You. It was released as the third single from the album. I mean, Revenge is a great revenge song. It's very powerful production. The lyrics are just brutally honest, and there is one part of the song where I like, where she kind of does a evil, crazy laugh that I like. I think some people might find it cheesy. I think it makes the song. I think the song, it knows its message, and I think that little laugh kind of helps the song a little bit. The music video had some crazy vocal. I think there was some imagery, homage to some past stuff that she had, or that was parodied. Yeah, I like it. It's one of my favorites on the album, and it's just an all-around favorite of mine. I think it was a good single. Great song. I like it a lot. Track number 7, we have Enough For You, and this one I think is underrated for me. I find it to be underrated. I loved the production. It kind of goes back to the softer production after track number from Deja Vu and Good For You that showed more of the rock, upbeat songs, and this tones it back down and takes us back into ballad land. I love her vocal performance on the track. Raw singing is what I called it. It's a personal favorite of mine. I listen to it a lot. I kind of wish it was released as a single, because I think it's that good of a song. Yeah, I have nothing but good things to say about Enough For You. There was a point in the song where she kind of belts and it kind of resonates when you're listening to it. It's so good. Track number 8, we have Happier. It's another one of the slow songs on the album. It has honest lyrics, and she has good intentions for the lyrics. I mean, lyrically, she's happy that her ex found somebody, but she doesn't want him to be happier with her. And I feel like some girls get this kind of paranoid when they break up, because they'll want to know well, what is it that makes her make you this happy? What is it I can do to change? And, you know, I think it's nothing you do. Everyone's different. I mean, you can't just go and make someone or be mad that they're happier with someone else. I mean, it's not like when you get into a new relationship, you're not going to tell your friends or besties, oh, I'm so much happier in this relationship. It sets a kind of a double standard. But it's a good song. It's a good song. Track number 9, we get into Jealousy, Jealousy, and this one was a very relatable song when I heard it. Deals with self-image a lot. She always says that, talks about what you see on social media every day. You see girls that have thin bodies, they have paper white teeth, they have perfect everything, and you just get mad at yourself and want to throw your phone up against the wall because you don't look like that. And men typically go for those kind of women. They go for the more fit size, slim down bodies. They go for the perfect skin, beautiful hair, and then they go for the pretty teeth. And it's also a thing in contrast to how women want to be with men. It's more women like to have men that have pretty eyes, great physique, great personality, and it's more on the looks and physical aspects of the body. They don't really mind or care enough about who you are as a person. Now, I'm not saying everyone's like that, but in this day and age, that's just how it's perceived, and that's how it's kind of how we're taught and how we witness it. I like it. It's a favorite of mine on the album because of how relatable and how it is a huge impact on today's society. Track number 10, we get into Favorite Crime. This song, to me, is a great ballad. There is a particular part in the song at the very end when she holds out crime. I think it's one of the best belted notes on the album. It has a very smooth production, very calm. It's such a soothing song. I like it. It's a good song. I had no complaints about it whatsoever. And then we get into our last track, track number 11, Hope You're Okay, the album closer. I like it for being different from the album. It focuses more on her checking up on her peers of, she checks on someone from back home and talks about how, see if they're doing okay, and it talks about scenarios that they're in. And it brings a more contrast to the album where we hear more about heartbreak, we hear about love, revenge, and so to have a closer be a completely different song, I thought was good. And that was all for the songs. Now, as with any album, of course, there were songs that got cut from the final track listing, and Sour had a lot of songs that did not make the final cut. So the next few tracks that I'm about to say, I have not heard any of them. I have not heard any of these songs. To my calculation, I think there are 31, from what I can see, 31 songs that were made during this era that did not get cut. There is one song that does appear on a later album, and I'll let you guys know that song when I get to it. But these are the songs that did not make the cut, and these have either been confirmed, speculated, or have been unreleased or leaked to the public. So starting at the top, we have 21st Century Girls, Apocalyptic Crush, Astronaut, Baby Is You, Best Friend, Can't Move On, Crazy, Differently, Do Better, Fantasy, Forget Our Love, Freedom, Grows, Mom I Quit, Pay Grade, Prison for Life, Sober, Strange, Strangers Again, Teenage Dream, which that song actually was later featured on her second album, Gut, The Ones I Love, White Flowers, and Wish You Cheated. There are some additional songs that I did find that were made during the era, but I don't think were at all considered for the album. But I put them in here. They were Creature of Habit, Just Because, LOVE, Miss This, Never Be Like Her, Teenage Drama Queen, Twilight Song, and Victim. So in total, 31 songs were made during the thing. As expected, the album was a critical success, and it was also a commercial success as well. It received critical acclaim. She received praise from critics, saying that it was a strong debut album, and they praised the realistic lyrics and the appeal to the Gen Z listeners. The songs, all singles that were released for the album, debuted on the Billboard chart. Driver's License and Good For You went to number 1. Deja Vu peaked at number 3. Traitor debuted at number 9. And Brutal was the lowest peaking release single, but still charted in the top 15, and it peaked at number 12. When the album was released, all the other songs that were released on the album charted on the charts as well. So you have One Step Forward, Three Steps Back, which peaked at number 19. Enough For You, that peaked at number 14. Happier peaked at number 15. Jealousy debuted at number 24. Favorite Crime debuted at number 16, and Hope You're Okay debuted at number 29. So all the songs that were included on the album debuted within the top 30. I think that's good, and of course the album went straight to number 1. It stayed on the charts for a very long time. It appeared on the end of the year playlist for 2021. It appeared on the Billboard US Billboard 200 for the 2021 year at number 2, and in 2022 it stayed in the top 10 at number 8. In 2023 it was number 26 on the year-end chart, and just this last year on 2024 it was at number 29. So it has not left the top 30 at all. For promotion, she went on and did her Sour tour, which was her first headlining tour. She released a YouTube concert film titled Sour Prom in promotion for the album. She also released a Disney Plus documentary titled Driving Home to You as promotion for the album. Rolling Stone ranked it number 358 of the best of 500 greatest albums of all time, and as of November of 2024 it is now still the most streamed album by a female artist on Spotify. So I mean, she came in and she meant business. At the awards, the album was highly awarded. It won 1 Grammy. It won Best Pop Vocal Album as well as Album of the Year. It was nominated for Album of the Year. It won the Billboard Award for Top Billboard 200 Album, and it received nominations at the American Music Awards. It also, for the Grammys, it says that she won Best Pop Solo Performance for Driver's License at the Grammys, and Best Pop Vocal Album. And she also won Best New Artist. So I really much appreciated the album. I think it's a solid debut album. But before I fully get into my initial thoughts, as always, I went on social media and I asked you guys to fill out a survey for the podcast. And now I'm going to read your guys' responses of how you like Sour. So, just like Sweetener, I asked them if they had heard Sour before. I told them to list their favorite and least favorite songs, as well as rating the album, and then share any additional thoughts that you have about the album at the end. I got 11 responses, so we're going to go one by one, and this is going to be a quick go through, run round, and we'll see what you guys have to say about it. First off, we have a person that has heard the album. Their favorite songs were Hope You're Okay and Enough For You. Least favorite songs, they actually honestly did not have any. They said, I love all of them for different moods. They rated the album a 10 out of 10, and they said, Sour was powerful and meaningful. I feel like I can speak for a lot of us. It has helped us through so many emotions and life changes. And I tend to agree with that. I think it's a great debut album. Right, our next submission says that they have heard Sour. Is a Sour listener. Their favorite song is Jealousy. And just like the last one, they do not have a least favorite. They say Impossible, Sour is perfect. They rated it a 10 out of 10. And they said that if they could give 11 out of 10. No notes, just solid good gold stars all around. Our next song or submission, they said they had heard Sour. Their favorite song was Deja Vu. Their least favorite song was Hope You're Okay. However, they did rate the album 10 out of 10 and they said it's so good, I love it. Next, we have a Sour listener. They have heard the album. Their favorite songs are Hope You're Okay and One Step Forward, Three Steps Back. Their least favorite song is, they said maybe Deja Vu. They seem to not have a particularly disliked song, but they said maybe Deja Vu. But I won't take it as a you don't have a least favorite. They rated the album an 8 out of 10. And their additional thoughts are, I loved it, ate up Sour. I really like how well it was written and promoted. Olivia really put her soul in this one and it shows. And I tend to agree with that. All right, our next submission says that they have heard the album. Their favorite songs were Favorite Crime, Enough for You, and initially just all of them. They had no least favorite songs. They rated the album of 10 out of 10 and they said best debut album, best Olivia Rodrigo cannot mess up a song. So they are hardcore Olivia Rodrigo fan. Oh, and then on the contrary, we had someone that says that they have not heard Sour, that they hate Olivia Rodrigo. I still hate Olivia Rodrigo. They debuted, they gave the album a 1 out of 10 stars and said that Olivia Rodrigo can't hit a note. Everyone has an opinion. If you don't like her, that's fine. But it's not that bad. It's not awful. You're going to have a lot of hate coming your way. But the good thing is, y'all, no one knows who these are. I don't even know who that is. Alright, back to more positivity. Our next person said that they had heard Sour. Their favorite song was Traitor. Their least favorite song was Hope You're Okay. They rated the album of 10 out of 10 and they said fucking amazing album. That girl can write. She can make you feel. Love Olivia with all of my heart. Next, they said, ooh, they got a little fancy with their text fonts. I like it. They had heard Sour. Their favorite song was Traitor. They had no least favorites. They rated the album of 10 out of 10 and they said, I love Sour, it slays. Next, we have a Sour listener. They list Hope You're Okay as their favorite song. Their least favorite song was Good For You. However, they did rate the album 10 out of 10 and said favorite album of all time. Our next submission says that they have heard Sour. Their favorite song is Jealousy, Jealousy. They have no least favorite song. They rated the album of 10 out of 10 and they had no additional thoughts. And for our last submission, our last person has listened and heard Sour. Their favorite song was Good For You. Least favorite was Hope You're Okay. They gave the album 8 out of 10 stars and they said a solid debut. And so that's all the submissions that I got for Sour. Pretty much the same, that people love the album. It really doesn't have any least favorites, and if people do, it's a mix between Hope You're Okay and usually one of the singles. I don't agree with I agree with the people that say that they have not a least favorite song, and let me tell you why. Every time I have listened to an album, there's always at least one song that has to grow on me, and which in this case Deja Vu was. However, I had heard Deja Vu before the album was released, and by the time I listened to the album, I had grown to like that song. So on my initial listen, when I was doing my listen through it, I loved it. I love the album. I think it's a great album. It's a solid, for me, 10 out of 10 stars. There was not a song that I heard on my initial listen that I hated. I liked every single song on my first listen. It's still an album I listen to this day. It's, as I said earlier, number 2 as the second best album of mine. Yeah, I think that's all I really have to say about it. I mean, I think great debut album, solid songwriting, great singles, and still continues, I think, strong debut. I think best debut this decade so far. Yeah. I would love to hear some of your additional thoughts for people that didn't get a chance to do the survey. You guys can let me know on social media what your thoughts are about the album. So I want to say what my number 3 next. I want to try to get into a routine of trying to post an episode, 1 or 2 episodes every week, but I'm aiming to try to at least release one episode a week. The next album I'll do is Planet Her from Doja Cat. That album is, to me, my 3rd favorite album of all time. So that album will be next that we will cover on here. And then after that, we'll start doing more of any album I feel like it. But yeah, that's all I have to say about the album. I appreciate you guys all for listening. If you want to stay in touch with me on social media and would like to have more updates of when more episodes are coming in, to have the chance to be able to participate in the next survey, you can follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is Official Music Talks Podcast, all lowercase, no special characters. And on TikTok, it is Music Talks _. Follow me on there. That's where I post the surveys that are coming up. I've already posted some extra bonus surveys on there, so if you want to see some other surveys that I've posted that are coming up, you can go ahead and check those out. I have 2 other podcasts that I do. Lethal Venom, a show where I talk about anything I want with the honest to God truth. If you like more of a chaotic variety type show, I highly recommend you go check that out. And then I have a book podcast called Southern Reads, where it's a book podcast where I talk mainly about books and everything book related. And those 2 podcasts and this podcast are all available on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, or Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, YouTube, Pandora, and then some other sources as well. I'll put my link tree in the description box below, where it'll show all the podcast information there and have all my links and whatnot. For email inquiries, if you want to, if there's something that you would like to send an email me to, you can shoot me an email, musictalkspod@gmail.com. Yeah, I do, again, lastly, thank you everyone for listening to the podcast and listening to the show, and I'll see you all guys in the next episode of Music Talks.